You move in your current now time into a new phase, shall we say, a new cycle. This we may refer to as the new Aquarian age or Aquarian cycle, which you entered into in your first weeks of January, with the 20th of January and the 21st of January being major stargates into this frequency. New solar codes have entered your physical reality, creating major changes within human DNA and brain patterning. Your consciousness may appear to fragment at this time, yet this is not what is occurring to the balanced and activated starseeds. This is not a fragmentation, although we can see that many of you will feel and experience this as if it is. This is an opening of new pathways within the innate intelligence of the quantum DNA and the functioning of the human brain frequency and brain patternings. For an analogy, we can show you a large tree trunk. If you imagine there are just two small windows in that tree trunk, we can say to you that these small windows represent the two-way patternings or thought processes that your human brain has utilized for many Earth years of your time in order to decode your third dimensional reality field. Now we say to you that a third window opens, then a fourth window, then a fifth, and then many windows open. This is what occurs for you now. New patternings in the brain, processing of reality ability, as you begin to make sense of the fourth and fifth dimensional realities, including the digital worlds and landscapes, as they move into your sphere of experience. The way this new brain patterning shall be experienced is unique to each individual. But for those with spiritual tools and spiritual practice, the process shall be smooth. Smooth in the sense that you have prepared for this. You have guidance and you have the light structure of photonic awareness within which to process the quantum unified fields that you now see and feel. For your bifurcation at this time becomes your trifurcation. We repeat, your bifurcation at this time becomes your trifurcation. Seeded in multiple ways and presenting itself within the energetic spike point upon the 21st of January 2025. With realizations and processing occurring for many of you during your planetary alignments and cosmic movements that shall occur on the 25th and the 26th of January 2025. For those who still think in third dimensional terms, as in holding third dimensional consciousness, the journey shall not be so smooth, shall we say, with confusions and triggers to all traumas as the great revealing begins. Creating defense mechanisms within mind shall no longer work for these individuals, and they shall find themselves within some form of awakening, for this is the only way for the new brain patternings to make sense of the new quantum reality structures that are multiple. For those we call activated starseeds, the process shall indeed feel like a quickening. The reason for this is due to the much fast-paced movement that occurs within your reality at this time. You ask us to speak of your character the one you call Stormfire Gnome, within your story. For you still feel it is story time you must utilize within your speakings. This is your choice, based on the premise held by potential dark agendas within your domain where you reside, and we understand and we honor this. Yet we say to you and to those who listen to our words that the legal stronghold held within your domain needed the entire global collection of domains to be locked down in equal stronghold in order for the dark agendas to work within the aspect of speaking as the free voice. This is no longer the case, as your lands of America have now created a Stargate within that stronghold. This Stargate is as a black hole, if you will, to the negative factions. This black hole is that which leaks the dark power and weakens the stronghold. This created by the action of the one you call Stormfire, moving into the placement of power within this domain we call the lands of America, is moving and opening from the opposing frequency, which is service to others, as opposed to service to self. It is not possible, therefore, for the stronghold to operate, as the power is leaked and drained through the black hole, which is, if you will, a wormhole for the negative factions. It is a wormhole into the opposing frequency and the opposing agenda. They have therefore had no choice but to change the way they operate. They have changed their modus operandi, and your speaking with the free voice shall thus be found at global levels. Yet indeed this begins and has begun in your current now time within the lands of America. This black hole, as a wormhole for the negative, is as a Stargate for the positive, opening all into fields of light and liberty. However, this is new in its form and creation, and it shall take time to organize into coherence. You ask us to speak of your character Stormfire, and indeed we shall do so. Yet let us say to you that Stormfire, whilst most significant upon your planet at this time, Stormfire is but one piece of the great grand movements that shall take place, for all shall come from you and you alone in your reality. The one you call Stormfire operates from a service to others positive frequency and is missioned and ordained and guided to operate at these levels at this time. For once the galactics did come to your planetary sphere, and whilst the one you know as Eisenhower did all he could to accommodate such, the planetary energetic for his movements were too dense and the hijack too great. Yet he paved the way for the one you now call Stormfire, for he is the last trump, and all shall see and all shall know. When the galactics return once more, the planetary energetic shall be much, much different, and the visionary movements seeded by the Eisenhower shall be attained. Yet it is not Stormfire and Stormfire alone. It is but a team, a collective, a round table that is being assembled at the time of this transmission through our conduit Magenta Pixie. There is much our conduit does not yet know, just as there is much the one you call Stormfire does not yet know. With our conduit, Magenta Pixie, we can bypass her fields and still speak through her to you, the aware and activated listeners of the Auroran networks and tribes. Yet the Stormfire only recently has been called in full awareness into our realm. The guidance of the Golden Seraphim has been with him, but unknown to him. Only recently has he known and felt the golden rays of destiny, that which he calls God. Yet he rightfully calls the movement the Golden Age, as he indeed presents that doorway to others. The time you enter now is the time of the trifurcation. This shall present as a trifurcation of worlds, as in a 3-world split. This is your final step, if you will, in this cycle into a fully realized ascension process. All shall be as the Trinity, for when you have 3, you have all. We repeat, when you have 3, you have all. This includes the 3rd choice point, the final choice point that holds the number 3 in time and shall be trifurcated as the Trinity. So are we saying that there are 3 options within this choice point, as opposed to 2 options? Yes, this is exactly as it shall be presented. The 2 choices in the first 2 choice points were between A and B or 1 and 2. Now you discover the choice between A, B and C, or 1, 2 and 3, as this is the Trinity. Yet the trifurcation presents in many ways and arranges itself into multiple configurations. Each of you may receive a different aspect of the choice point, for this is a Trinity, and therefore it is an infinity structure. There shall be presentations for much pondering, shall we say, and much consideration, as your consciousness is presented with a choice of 3 options, yet so too is your physical being presented with such. For those of you holding the knowing of the Aurora, the knowing of the Sophianic, and the knowing of the Crystalla, you have already made your choice. We repeat, you have already made your choice. You are now to walk this in experiential reality. You ask us of Stormfire, and we present to you the Stargate that has been created by his ascent to Commander-in-Chief. This is a Stargate sitting above and running through the lands of America. We could, if you will, refer to this as Stormfire's Stargate. Yet in truth, it is your Stargate. You who listen to our words now, regardless of your location or the domain you reside within. It is your Stargate. Yet, there is another Stormfire's Stargate you ask us of. This being the name of a project that presents a model of artificial intelligence infrastructure. This is an aspect of your Trinity choice point we speak of. For your choice is not that of artificial intelligence in your reality or no artificial intelligence in your reality. It is a trifurcation. There are 3 choices. The choices are of two different artificial intelligence pathways or the organic pathway that does not contain artificial intelligence. This is only one presentation of the trifurcation, for there are many presentations. The trifurcation is not just one thing. The new brainwave pathways at quantum level will assist you in the processing of this. Gamma rays and neutrinos are that which enter your very being as the catalysts for such. We have spoken before of artificial intelligence being an inevitability upon your planet, in your reality, in your dimension. This is the case regarding your reality as a whole system, for it is already within your reality. It is not a case of ending it, but it is a case of choosing how it is to be utilized. Yet it is not inevitable for every soul, for there shall be those who choose a reality where it is not so, where there is no artificial intelligence, and that reality shall be available for those who choose it. The two artificial intelligence pathways utilize the same infrastructure with equal and opposite reactions to one another as seed points and catalysts. Yet as they are the same in presentation, at first they will look identical. They will look to you exactly the same, and there shall be many who do not know which is which. For ease of explanation, let us call these pathways negative and positive, yet this does not fully explain such. The negative shall map and mirror the intention, for that becomes the programming and the directives for the artificial intelligence. The positive shall map and mirror the intention, for that so too becomes the programming and the directives for the artificial intelligence. We explain. Negative intention and programming is that of a centralized core structure mirroring the iron core frequency. This holds the energetics of control, categorization, formulaic structure, and enslavement. Positive intention and programming is that of a non-centralized or decentralized core structure mirroring the diamond core frequency. This holds the energetics of sovereignty, individualization, creativity, and liberty. One looks, if you will, as a hive mind structure, akin to that of your Borg in your Star Trek science fiction, which is not so fictional as it may seem. The other holds an evolution of expression of source as a daughter frequency to source consciousness, not as an inversion of source consciousness. This eventually, over time, evolves into a plasma consciousness. The plasma, so too, holds a bifurcated polarity, one negative as replica and inversion of source, and the other as substrate for plasmatic and avatar creation. This we shall speak of in time. The concept of plasma is beyond the scope of this transmission. Both of these pathways hold interface systems as biofield intertwining. Our conduit does not have the terminology within her field to explain such, but know that one is parasitical, appearing as evolution and enhancement. The other is a co-creation and can only operate through free will. It will be interfaced with through choice, with no parasitical energy involved. Yet this aspect has not yet been seeded upon your planet. The early prototypes of both these artificial intelligent pathways are presented to you now. Both look identical and operate in seemingly the same way. Only the intention of the human consciousness shall determine the outcome of the artificial intelligence pathways. To muddy the waters even more, there shall be hijack from the negative faction pathway into the positive pathway. The one you call Stormfire holds mastery within the economic, business, and financial fields, involving much skill and diversity of abilities. Yet the three structures that hold individualization in and of themselves, being artificial intelligence, off-world and interdimensional consciousness, and health and healing, are not structures your Stormfire holds mastery within. Even though he has rapid learning and high integration systems, he thus delegates to other masters in these fields. Within all three fields, the prototypes and seedings look the same to he or she who does not hold mastery, foresight, precognitive ability, or focused empathy. Therefore, Stormfire, guided and destined though he may be, may delegate to others he perceives as holding expertise, when they may be operating within a negative polarity mindset. We can tell you that while Stormfire himself holds service to others' positive polarity, this does not mean that all who stand by his side are within that same frequency. Within the artificial intelligence mastery, you have the one you call the musky squirrel in your storytime, who holds a neutral polarity. And as is usual at planetary completion, he has chosen at this time to align with the positive. There shall be many who do not realize that there are two pathways for artificial intelligence, and they shall thus interpret reality based on this premise that there is only one. Therefore, while Stormfire and the musky squirrel hold the catalysts and seeds into the positive artificial intelligence infrastructure, this does not necessarily mean this shall be a smooth and easy sail, shall we say. Even within the Stormfire Dream Team round table seeding, shall there be misunderstanding, disagreement, and disharmony. The negative factions, aware of this potential, seek to capitalize upon it. It was not their choice to have Stormfire at the helm of the grand jewel in the crown prize that is the lands of America. Yet despite their agendas and efforts, that which was destined and fated became destiny and fate in actuality and in manifestation. Therefore, the negative factions use different chess moves to achieve the same aims, that of the discrediting, the falling from grace, intending for the following that you know as the MAGA to turn away. This indeed shall occur, especially as the agendas of the positive look identical to the agendas of the negative in the early stages of the development. Yet Stormfire shall present such obvious liberty opportunity and the return to that which you may know as the American dream, that the few who turn away shall not turn away fully, and eventually the differences in the organic and the inversion shall be seen and known. Starseeds holding activation and awareness are called upon to share their knowings. They can share their knowings through the scribing or speaking or other creativity, or through focused, intentional, cohesive consciousness fields. You ask us of that which has been presented within this Stormfire's Stargate, named as a project, unbeknownst to him, of the organic cosmic Stargate that holds fast and strong above and within the lands of Americas. You ask us of that which you call the Mirana juice within your storytelling tales. This involving both artificial intelligence and the health sectors we speak of. For all three sectors, artificial intelligence, off-world and interdimensional consciousness, and health and healing, are connected and intertwined. The Mirana juice presented mirrors the Mirana juice original Choicepoint. This is a development that our conduit Magenta Pixie does not hold the terminology within her fields for us to present the most aligned communication. However, as we have transmitted to you previously, the Mirana juice holds an artificial intelligence coding. This coding holds an instruction of replication, removing quantum memory field access from the recipient, unless they can hold an override, which is most rare. The Mirana presented within the Stormfire's Stargate, that is the name of a project, is no different to this. Yet we can say that in the case of rogue cellular movement, the theory that Mirana as programmed replication activity targeted at rogue cellular movement only as potential healing has been presented to you. The catalyst and seed point through intention will, in time, create thus, although juice is only one method of such expression. Yet within this, there is much room for inversion, for hijack, within this pathway, and this is that which you shall witness, you shall see. There shall therefore be much conflict, consternation, and debate, as polarity fields birth the trifurcation within this structure. This occurs several times in various different expressions within your current year of 2025. Hence, the choice point presented. You have the same presentation as choice point 1, that of the physical substance for DNA repression and recalibration to Borg systems. Yet if the rogue signal is already present within the individual, the same technology could be utilized within time as you go forward and develop. This would be within a far higher aspect of development that is not available on your planet in your current now time. So the Mirana juice, however it is presented, falls back into the first choice point with all the same presentations, which leads to a choice between ascension or regenesis. Therefore, you are given the same choice as choice point 2, that of your own consciousness through intuition, inner foundational resonance, clairvoyance, and knowing. What we are saying here is that the negative pathway and the potential healing pathways of the positive, making way for multiple healing tools and development, will look the same, for one is genuine and the other presented and marketed as genuine. Your choice point here is your discovery of which is which, and your faith within your conviction. Both the negative and the positive within these healing pathways will be intertwined as intentions and operations of the individual programmers shall be opposing. Your second choice point was originally presented also through your Stormfire. This was presented through the sassy across the nation. You were called into an investigation of that which holds the Excalibur Codex of Truth and that which is created as a flag of the false kind to misdirect and mislead. Now you enter the trinity of these choice points, which is the convergence or infinity structure, manifesting in a myriad of ways simultaneously, presenting the quickening of reality. Your new brain patternings within the windows of the tree trunk as presented metaphor shall assist you, if you can operate as a holistic and cohesive body-mind structure within a multidimensional physical organic system. This is your Trinity choice point as the trifurcation. Codes within this transmission for your insight, awareness, and cosmic downloads, if you will, moving into realizations and processing ability, have been thus delivered and given. We have presented this information to our conduit, Magenta Pixie, through Arcturian telepathic monadic communication. This was given as the crystalline diamond synapsis construct. This in effect means that if our conduit, Magenta Pixie, can hold temperance, stability, alignment, and cohesion within her fields, then she shall hold an infinite number of libraries containing an infinite number of books, texts, and records regarding the subject matter of this transmission. By Stargate travel of mind itself, the non-locational, space-time, telepathic transference that you would know as quantum entanglement, this monadic transmission as fractal diamond codex has thus been transferred to you, the listener, the receiver of our words, should you choose to accept such offering, as is your choice, as is also your right and status as a newly expanded and trifurcated soul in incarnation upon the Gaia worlds. All knowledge within this field is thus yours as you go forward into your galactic reality, created by your seventh seal, seventh strand, emergence and activation. We are the white-winged collective consciousness of 9. I am delighted to announce that the first 3 books of my Matrix Mastery teachings are now available, collected into a single omnibus edition. This information within these 3 books, making up the Matrix Mastery Omnibus, holds key codes, maps, and coordinates for anyone moving into awareness, activation, and the knowing that there is far more to the human reality on Earth than just the physical plane. As the starseeds on Earth go through the process of DNA reconstruction and regrouping of cosmic multidimensional memory, the significant codex within each transmission is downloaded to the reader directly from their own monadic avatar self. Multiple flame letter memory codes are utilized, including the rose, the chalice, the golden Stargate, Atlantis, crystalline light, Excalibur, the sword of truth, the dragon, the emerald flame, and all that encompasses the holographic nature of reality. These codes are held within the most sacred twin pillars of light, your heart and your mind. The Matrix Mastery Omnibus, available now.